Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, Trying to Process This Betrayal from My Wife. Is it too early to make a decision? Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it. I have been far from a perfect husband, but I would never inflict this pain onto another person, let alone the person I have committed my whole life to. It is the worst. August 12th, 2020 was the day I knew for certain that something was up. Our relationship has had many ups and downs in the 20 plus years we have known each other, but never did I believe we would be in this situation. My wife is the one person I trusted and believed in. I was emotionally abandoned by my mother, and I have not processed it. This has played a crucial role into the divide of our marriage. I acknowledge it and have sought out counseling to help me process this. But this issue has not allowed me to fully open up about myself with my wife. As I write this, I feel weak, as though I am making excuses to justify my want to stay married. I am conflicted. July 2nd, my wife said with a serious tone during an argument, "I want a divorce." I could tell instantly that this was different than when it had been said out of anger before. Of course, I reacted the same way I always had, irrational and telling her to go ahead. I let this sink in and really reflect on our marriage. Something needs to be done. I do not like who I have become, and I have never processed the trauma, far more than just abandonment, in my life. I know where I have failed as a husband, and I take full responsibility for it. A month goes by after her saying this, and I am doing everything in order to save my marriage. All household, parenting, financial responsibilities, everything was being taken care of by me. I did not want my wife to stress out about anything. I was terrified that I was going to be served with divorce papers any day. The thought of not seeing my son every day breaks my heart, and I will fight to prevent that from ever happening. This fear, though, blinded me into believing that everything was my fault. My wife has not been present for the better part of a year. She's a great mom, and there's no question about that. Over the last year, though, she has not invested as much interest into being active with our son or pursuing family activities. I chalked it up to her just finishing school and starting back into the workforce after not working for the last 5 years to focus on school. Our son is incredibly intelligent, empathetic, and perfect in every way. I love him to death. It is now August. We have not had intercourse or kissed since that day in July. She comes home and asks me if I would mind if she went to meet her brother in WV to get some textbooks. I said for sure. It all planned out. She's studying to move up in her field and needs to pass a certain test. I started looking for hotels for her and found one that was legit. I wanted to give my wife a relaxing night in a nice hotel, so I looked to get it all booked, and she said it was too expensive and decided to book it on her own. Important for later. I get a call on that day she left from her saying that her brother backed out and cannot meet her. Sounds like a effed up thing to do, but hey, at least you get to enjoy your time away. We'll FaceTime with our son later to say goodnight. Once I called her to do that, I could tell she was not going to read to him like she promised. I knew in this moment that my wife was no longer there. My wife, the woman I fell in love with, would never act like it was an inconvenience to read to her beautiful son. Believe what you want, but that feeling in your gut is one smart mother effer. Sorry, Russell's Reserve is tasty and dulls the pain. Even though I knew that an affair was probably happening, I had no proof or a leg to stand on because I believed it was all my fault to begin with. I continued to pursue what I could to save my marriage, crying my eyes out daily wondering what was going to happen, trying daily to have an honest conversation with my wife, but only to meet with such disdain and malice. Some of the things that were said to me broke me in half, but I felt I deserved it for not providing enough for her to be happy. This is not who my wife is. What the F is going on? More up and down days, meaning I am led to believe things are going better by telling me I am doing great and cuddling with me, to doing a 180 and totally effing with my mind. From what I read, this is a common trait in someone who is unfaithful. Anyway, it is now October 3rd. I am standing in the kitchen preparing pork chops for dinner when I hear my son say, "Who is that man? He looks like father-in-law." My guts twist as I look over to see my wife looking to see if I noticed what my son said. Of course I did. Anytime my son speaks, I listen. I said my wife's name and walked out the door. I made it about 8 miles before I needed to ask if what my gut was telling me is true. She said to just come home, so I did. I went upstairs and bluntly asked if she was having an affair. Not a word. It is a yes or a no answer. That's it. Just answer, please. Holy yes, I am a failure, a cockhold, a loser. My life is over. What do I do? I left, called her 30 minutes later distraught, ended up doing 80 in a 45 and getting pulled over. I am lucky I have enough resolve to not have proceeded with confronting the police. Ended up getting drunk, being more distraught than I have ever been, only to have her tell me that if I died, she would deal with it in the morning. I cannot finish this tonight. I will update with the rest. But I will leave you with that in this moment. 2 days after our 8th anniversary and 1 hour and 45 minutes from my 35th birthday, I am lost. Sorry, I wish I could give you more. I love you all who have been through this. And the first comment says, hell no, it ain't too soon to make a decision. Go see a lawyer ASAP. Seek a lawyer's counsel and figure out how to proceed from here to protect yourself and get custody of your son. If you want more evidence, you may have to swallow your pride and meet with your wife. Talk to her about the affair. Get her to admit as many details as possible and have an audio recorder on. You should seek therapy as well. The road from here will get rough and painful. I don't see how this marriage can be saved. It shouldn't be, not even for the sake of your son. Your marriage has created a toxic environment for him. Not only has she betrayed you, but she's also detached herself from you a long time ago. Don't let her gaslight you, and don't blame yourself for everything. You may have issues to work on yourself, but that's what therapy is for. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment below and let me know if there's any other subreddits you guys would like me to make videos on, and also like the video and please subscribe.